Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another video, and it is basically looking at the transfer window, rounding it up so far. Obviously, we have till the 31st of August, so still plenty of time for deals to be done, as we're only breaching like the 2nd of August when this was filmed. Just having a look at some of the players we've recruited so far, and where I think there's possibly room for improvement still within this squad, especially as that survey went out a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been Sky or Sky Bet. It went around on Twitter. And the majority of Everton fans were saying that the squad still needs a couple of signings here and there. I would probably be in the majority in with that as well. I think if we can, there's still stuff to be done. But to be honest, I didn't expect us with the pulling out of the Friedkin group and the 777 fallout and all this. I didn't expect us to make any signings. So the fact that we're making some is really good. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Sort of expect nothing, and if you get something, brilliant. But yeah, let's get on with it. So first signing of the window was Tim Arabunam. I'm gonna say, I think I watched the video where he said the G silent. So Irabunam. So Tim Irabunam came from Aston Villa for. This is coming off Transfer Market, by the way. Who sites only ever seem to do it in euros, but around the 10 million pounds mark. Which, I mean, bearing in mind, everyone thinks he is a FFP workaround. I think it works to about 9 million. Everyone seems to think he's an FFP workaround with Lewis Dobbin going the other way. I don't know if I'm quite that, going to say that. It's a tough label to be labelled with as well, by the way. But like £9 million, I think is the rate that we bought him for. I don't think that's. It's yet to be decided whether that's good or not. He's obviously a young lad. With a bit of potential. From what I've seen, I like him. He seems to be a decent lad, a decent build as well. Could really make himself known in the midfield, but he is still quite young, so I am being a little bit like hesitant to jump, loads of praise. I haven't seen an awful lot of him at Villa. And until I see him play in an Everton top, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that he's, the next, God knows, the next someone. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next Ballack, or some other great centre mid that was known for just grabbing games by the grip of their neck. There is one glaringly obvious one who plays for across the park that I'm trying not to mention, but I'm not going to say that. He also might not be, he could be anywhere in the middle of that. Like I said, I didn't watch a lot of his games for Villa. He only played 15 of them. So I'm yet to hold judgment on him. But for the money, 9 million, listen, if it was that they bought Dobbin then and that sort of does both out, then it's sort of worth it for that alone. But I mean, it is a very cynical thing to assume that that's why we got him, and not fair on the player. But it'll be interesting. He's one that I'm excited to see play. 21 years old, is still young. I'm excited to see him play. I think he will get game time this summer. I know he's been playing in the this season. I know he's been playing on the pre-seasons. I think he will get game time if Garner and Gay get injured. Or one of them gets injured. He basically is going to get his place in the team. So it should be interesting how that goes. Next, we have Iliman Ndiaye, who has come from Marseille for a rumoured 18 million pounds, so about 80 million euros, so what, like 16 million pounds. I really like, again, not a player that I've seen an awful lot of while he's been in France, but I liked him when he was at Sheffield United. He was very highly rated as well. Again, 24 years old. So not quite young, but still young, the right age, right side of 25. He'll be expecting to get more game time at Everton. Interesting to see where he plays. Will we play him up front? Will we play him in the Decore role? Will we play him out on the wings? Interested to see how he does. For the price, I think we potentially have got a really good player here. Before he went to Sheffield United, a lot of teams were before he went to Marseille, a lot of teams were interested in him. So it'll be interesting to see with this one. His record in France wasn't very good, but his record at Sheffield United was. I'm hoping it's just that he went out to France, got homesick, couldn't really adjust to the league and the culture, and decided he wanted to come back, which in that case, there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of players that have done that. Players have done it in the UK and gone to another city and not liked it and had to come back. So it's not unusual that a player leaves their home country, goes to another country and just can't acclimatize for whatever reason. Different leagues, different styles as well. I'm not going to say different climate because they are only only across from us, across from Dover from us, but still they get nicer weather. But I don't think enough to say about the climate. Then moving on, we have Jesper Lindstrom for 2.5 million loan fee on loan. This is an exciting one. Obviously, I spoke to Nicholas from a Frankfurt fan on the channel. You can go check that video out. He really likes him. He thinks that we potentially have an absolute bargain on our hands, especially with the buy clause as well. That's optional. He thinks we've got a really good player who could be could be a real steal for Everton. It'll be interesting to see where he plays because he said he's almost better as like your inside right midfielder, but obviously we don't play that. We play with an actual right midfielder and left. And he said he's better when he plays with a cam. Maybe Sean Dyche is going 4-2-3-1 next season. It'll be interesting to see. But this is a player who's very fast, very talented, very skilled. Apparently struggles a bit with his shooting, according to Nicholas, but overall, potentially really exciting player. It's a nice little young squad or youngish squad that Everton have gone for this window. That it seems to be get the younger lads in, put a bit of youth in this side that we've gone for. And I like it. I think it's a sensible idea. And I think this deal in particular is so nice when we manage to do these because if he's fantastic, we've got a bargain. If he's not, we don't have to buy him. It's just a loan. You can go back to Napoli. Brilliant, nice and easy. Again, a player like and I really, really, really high hype when he left Frankfurt, went to Napoli. Hasn't got much game time for whatever reason. Better players, maybe. Just not got the game time. Struggled a bit out in Italy and now is looking to revitalise his career quite early on. And get the game time he wants. Nicholas was saying he's very much a player that could end up leaving us to go to a Champions League club in a couple of years, which is interesting as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But no risk, low risk, potentially high reward. And then finally we have Jake O'Brien, this happened really quick within a day. This was a really quick one to get over the line. Kevin Farwell doing it while the game's going on. The rumoured fee is about 19 million from Lyon. And centre back as well. Again, 23 years old. So the oldest player we brought this window is 24. Nice to see that. Just looks like a really, really tall lad. He's a bit of a unit. Had an all right run at Lyon. I don't think he was overly like, oh my gosh, amazing at Lyon, but he wasn't bad either. He had a decent season with them, a solid season. And I'm excited to see how he gets on here. It's definitely a transfer we needed. Tarkowski's getting on a bit. He is getting on. And he's injured currently. But Branthwaite, and then I think as we've been watching in pre-season, the other two just really shouldn't be anywhere near the back four. So we need a better player to come in, and Jake O'Brien could be that. For the fee, I mean, Yeah, you know what? The fee's not awful. The fee's not awful. For a 23-year-old right centre back, 19 million is probably the going rate, isn't it? Really. But yeah, I think he could be a really really good player in this Everton team, and I'll be interested to see who he partners up with the most. I feel like he'll be the Tarkowski, just because when Brantwaite's fit, you'll have him playing that left hand side because he's left footed, and then Jake O'Brien, Tarkowski on the right because they're right footed players of the centre backs. Um, yeah, so really really good one in terms of the overall window. Like I said at the start, I was expecting us to sign nobody given the circumstances of the window and the fact that we've signed four players. Five, sorry, four, it's five. Jack Harrison is also back on loan again. Um, so five players, Harrison coming back as well, who, by the way, I think decent enough. You know what you're going to get with Jack Harrison. Decent enough squad player, does the defensive work needed. Um, Happy for him to come back on loan. Hopefully, now that we've got other options outright, we don't have to watch him constantly cutting onto his left foot. But yeah, Harrison, it is what it is. I like him. I just think sometimes he's a bit easy to read. But yeah, the fact we've signed that many players, I thought we were going to be just loans and just free transfers. And I'm impressed that we've managed to actually sign players with money. Obviously, we've lost Onana, which might fund a couple of these. But I mean, that's okay with me. If I'm going to be completely honest, it was going to be Onana or Brantwaite this season that we were going to lose, and I'd rather have lost Onana, even though I think he's a really good player. I just think that Sean Dyche will find another midfielder who fits his system. I don't think you're going to find many centre backs like Gerard Brantwaite. Again, left footed. They're a real special breed. Um, so yeah, really, really happy to have lost Onana over Brantwaite. Do think he's going to have a really good season at Villa, and I think we're going to see the best of him there. But it has meant that we can buy. There are still some positions I think we need to sort out. One of them being right back. I know there was a news article that broke the other day saying that Everton are happy with their current right back and left back situation. The left back situation is a little bit dire as it's Vitaly Mikalenko or Ashley Young. And the right back situation is Nathan Patterson or Seamus Coleman or Ashley Young. You can see why Ashley Young was given another contract because he can play both sides. The fact that Seamus Coleman is probably going to go in being our main right back is a little bit of a worry. Patterson, this for me is Patterson's season step up, or I think he'll be sold next summer. He's filled out from the photos. He looks like he's put on a bit of timber, which he needed to. This is his season now. He's really got to push. You can't be having Seamus Coleman at his age beating you for that first team place. You know, he's 35 years old. Seamus Coleman should now be thinking about, should be a bench player there for his captain capabilities and should be thinking about what's next. You know, in his career, what he wants to do when he hangs his boots up. He shouldn't have to be worrying about how he's going to have to try and pocket Raheem Sterling on a weekly basis. It's just, a bit tough for him. But it does leave it a bit dry. If Patterson and Seamus Coleman are injured, then it's Ashley Young. The left back situation's even more worrying because if Vitaly Mikalenko gets injured, it's Ashley Young, and if he gets injured, then it's makeshift. And I'm not too sure how they're going to do that. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. Other than fullback, I mean, in the midfield, you've got Irabonum, Gay, Decore, Garner, and Nyanga that can all play centre mid. There's a bit of a drop off, isn't there, on Nyanga? It'd have to be everyone's injured. I think it'll be Garner and Gay. Decore would come in there if needed, and then Irabonum. Wings, I think we're okay now for the wings. We've got Harrison that can play on the right, McNeil that can play on the left, and then Lindstrom can also play on the right and left. and so can Ndai. And Ndai can also play the Decore role, so I think we're okay there. Strikers, we've got Calvert-Lewin, Moipai, Beto, Chimiti. Chimiti has been wearing a boot. Moipai, a free striker should be enough in a system where he only plays one. The problem being is the way we play. If Moipai, we should try and sell because he's just not going to suit the system as his lone striker. Beto, I think we should probably give him another half a season just to see how he does. He's admitted himself he hasn't adapted to the Premier League as well as he'd like. I think we need to give him another half a season to a season and see what he does there. He is a good player. I just think that he's struggled a bit. But he's also not the Calvert-Lewin style of player. He's a player that runs onto balls, doesn't hold them up like Calvert-Lewin. The big one is Calvert-Lewin. If his contract's up next season, if he's not going to sign, the club needs to give him a date and say, this is the best deal we can offer you as well. The club needs to play ball a bit and try and offer him the best deal they can. This is the best we can offer you in our circumstances. Are you going to sign it? Let us know by this date. And if Calvert-Lewin decides that he does want to move on to pastures new, then the club will have to go, okay, fair enough, but you're not leaving on a free. We'll get you out this summer. And we've just got to try and sell him. I like Calvert-Lewin. I've always said that I'm a fan of him. You just can't let players like that leave on a free, though. 2 seasons after that Ancelotti season, there were rumours that Arsenal were coming in for him. And then, in 2 seasons' time, he might be leaving on a free. I know he's had a couple of bad seasons, but he played a lot of games last season. His fitness has improved. His goals could have been better last season, but the whole point of last season was to stay safe and just get him playing football more regularly. Now it's about the goals. And I think what he contributes to this team is hard to replicate. Beto can't do it. Moipai can't do it. Chimiti's injured, but I think Chimiti could be one for the future that might be able to do it. He's a profile that's really hard to figure out. If we sell him, we have to get the replacement right. We don't have a great track record of selling strikers and then getting their replacements in. We're still looking for the Lukaku replacement, but yeah, it'll be really, really interesting to see how we do that. But I think the main one is fullback for me. I think if the fullback situation, especially left back, it could get quite ugly if Mikalenko gets injured and Young gets injured. We could end up seeing Branthwaite playing there, and I'm not too sure. Obviously, we've got rid of Godfrey, so it won't be him. I'm not too sure if Branthwaite's got it to play there. But in terms of the window so far, I'm going to give it a C. A high C, it'd be like a C plus if you're American, or out of 10. I'll do out of 10. I'll do out of 10 like a normal person. I would give it a 7. It's a 7 or a 6, a 7, a low 7. Get a fullback, and it's easily an 8 because I don't think we're signing anybody. So I think that's why I've rated it so highly, because the fact that we've actually signed players, and I thought it was going to be a season like last season. So on that alone, I'm going to give it a 7. But we do need to look at fullbacks. Otherwise, we could be in real big trouble. That's all I've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and leave your thoughts down below. Let me know your rating and where you think we should improve. Look forward to reading them. See you soon.